Welcome to another show, and I am here to enlighten your mind on this big topic today. Yeah, let some people roll in. Just give it a few more minutes. Let me sip some tea real quick. Have a question. I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna ask you this because what I'm about to say is gonna blow your mind, open your mind, expand your mind, and allow you to see things. Wow, how come I never saw that? How come I never understood it like that? I'm not going to yell today. I'm not going to shout in the microphone, although I should. But I'm not going to do that today. I just want to sip my tea real quick, gather myself, and get ready to break it down to you. The real pandemic, the one that you cannot see. You know, there's a pandemic that you cannot see. I'm going to ask this question, and I'm going to ask it one time. I'm not going to repeat this question. I'm going to ask it once. For new people coming in late, that's fine. You'll catch up on the show when you get in. But for right now, I'm going to ask this question one time. That question is, can women survive emotionally independent of men? I said, can women? I said I was only say it once. I'm going to repeat it. But this is once in this segment right here. Can women survive independently? Can women survive emotionally independent of men? All right. Let's go into this. See, allow me to introduce you to the laws of physics, the laws of nature, because there is a wiring, for the lack of a better term. There is a wiring inside of you, and I'm talking to women, that will not allow you to separate yourself from your counterpart. You know, and I'm gonna go in on this. I gotta go in on this topic. You know, we got movements out here. One of them is the feminist movement. All right, cool. We all know about that. But what's this other movement that's going on out here? And that is this independent woman movement. This woman don't need no man movement. I'm going to be by my... Listen, women are more self-expressive. So women can get out of a relationship and already know that she still desires to be in a relationship. But the programming that she's been fed has taught her to give herself time to take a break from a relationship. But I'm going to introduce you to the laws of nature. But all things desirable must be had. So you are not to suppress your desires as a woman. Now, I know you don't want to seem like a hoe or a thot or a slut sleeping out here with everybody. You don't want to go sleeping around. You don't want to do that. See, your objective in life, your natural objective is to find not a man, not a provider, but someone who can guide you, someone who can lead you. That is your job. That is your main objective as a woman. And that is to find someone who can take on the heavy load that comes with life. Because the truth of the matter is, you, woman, are not designed to carry the heavy load. And so this independent woman movement happens to the male, ostracizes the male, and the male is seen as someone who cannot be his true masculine self, because women have ostracized men from their life, from their experience, from them experiencing the opposite sex. So women have ostracized men and made men feel not needed, inadequate, less than, and not wanted. And so what men tend to do in retrospect of what is being done to the mind of the woman, what men tend to do is become the slut. What men tend to do is become the hoe. What men tend to do is become the sex, the most, the promiscuous one. So men tend to become the promiscuous one. But it is in man's nature to have stability. Not women. Women think that they want stability. No, women want security. Men want stability. Men like things stable. Men like things being stable. Men don't like things moving too much. Men don't like things moving too much. That's why it's always put on the woman that she's better at multitasking. Men, we don't like that. Men, we like to be able to do things one at a time. Keep it short, keep it simple. Tell me one thing at a time. Don't give me everything that went on in your day. Tell me one thing at a time. Let's deal with one thing at a time. But because the independent movement, the independent woman movement comes into the mind of the woman, and the woman begins to separate herself, ostracizing the man. And so because the man has no stability, nowhere to call home or plant his roots, plant his seed, because man has nowhere to plant his seed, because the woman has made it known that she don't need him. The woman has made it known that he's not needed. I'm good over here. And this happens a lot when you go to a club. You ever go to a club? And I used to go to clubs when I was younger. And you see the women dancing by themselves. And the moment a man presses up on that woman, she looked back at her like, what the hell are you doing? Get up off of me. Women, a man tries to press up on a woman regardless of his intention, right? Let's not look at what his intention may be. Let's just look at the fact that a man is pressing up on you. And this is what happens at a club. But your mind has gathered the thoughts together to say, I'm going to a club where there's going to be some hungry, prowling men, but I'm not going to give not one of them a chance. So what do? Men become promiscuous. So the first easy thing that opens their legs to him, he goes and take that. The man will take that because this independent thinking of the woman has ostracized the man. So the man has to wait to the stores, to the doors of the department open for him to go enter. He has to wait till a woman basically throws herself at him, and he's going to take that because in man's nature he wants to plant seed, he wants to plant roots. That's what he wants in his nature. Now, whether he takes that woman home and actually has the intention of doing that, that's a different story. But that comes from the ostracism of women making men feel useless in this society we call life. So men feel of no use. So what are they going to do? Because it's in our nature to have sex. It's in our nature to want to be with a woman. It's in our nature. And because men have that desire in their nature, you cannot put out that desire. But I see women who live independently put out that desire by saying, I just got out of a hard relationship. I don't want to go back into one. Men, they turn over and go right back into one. Men can get out of a relationship, and I'm speaking for almost 90% of men. I'm not saying every man, but I am saying damn near 90% of men can leave a relationship and jump right into another one. Because men are not the emotional creatures that women are. And because, listen to me, and because you're an emotional being, you cannot survive without him. You cannot survive without your man because you're an emotional being. But you put the desire out to be with a man because you just got out of a broken relationship that hurt you and made you feel like shit. He cheated on you, all this other stuff. And so you put the desire away on the back burner, and all you're doing is making it worse for yourself. You're making it worse for yourself. You're building up stressors and walls to never trust. And the idea of this thing called life is to love. It is to love. You understand? When you are open to love, now you don't want to be like, women be like, no, I'm not going to just open myself up to love and wait for any and everything to come in and just say, hey, I want to be with you and give him a chance. No, but women are so tapped into themselves emotionally that they have the power. If they were tapped into their natural divine self, then what they would also do it, they would empower themselves with that thing we call intuition. And so this is your intuition, so women can know. This is why in nature, when you see two males fighting to mate with the woman, this is why the woman, she don't want just any male. She want the one that's willing to fight for her, stand for her, and give her the strong dominant gene so that she can carry his gene pool within her womb. And it continues to keep the pack strong, and it continues to keep the womb strong, and it continues to keep that man fertile. When that man is releasing, when that male is releasing that testosterone, he's actually doing this further. He's making his seed sterile, even more potent. Even more potent. This is why men, we woo women. We woo women to be with the woman. Just like in nature, you see that happens. Animals woo their woman to be with them. So you'll see men, we woo our woman to be with them. We woo our woman. We buy flowers. We take them out on trips. We vacations, all that stuff. But the woman has gotten so bombarded with this idea, this senseless idea that she can survive independently of her man. And that's just not the truth. She cannot survive independently of her man. She cannot survive independently of her man because the woman, and I'm finna go deep now, the woman needs to be told what to do. Now, I know you like, whoa, wait a minute, what? I don't need to be told nothing. No, you do. You desire to have a man take the role and take the reins and take control and tell you what's happening for today. What we're doing today. Women desire that. But see, women get lost in this world out here because they ostracize the men. So the men become the promiscuous ones, and they think that saving themselves for another man, or is the best thing to do is to save themselves for a man, the right man that comes along. But the thing is, you keep running through men because here's the thing, you're going to keep running through men, and you will always run through men because you're not tapped into what you are naturally put here to do, which is create and fertilize the seed of that man, and so that man can guide you. You want to be guided. That is your natural ability in this planet. Your natural desire is to be guided by your man. You don't want your man to leave the decision making up to you. Women want their man to make the decision. This is where we going. This is what we doing. Here's where we are today, baby. Women desire for their man to say what it is. What's it going to be today? What we doing today, baby? What's going on today? Where we going today? Women desire to do that. I was at an event today. It's funny that I'm bringing this situation up. I was at an event today, and I was listening to this woman. She had to be about 60 years old. And she was having a conversation with another woman next to me. And this older woman, in her 60s at least, said these very same words. She said, I'm the type of person that likes being told what to do. I like to follow. I want to be told what to do. I want to be told where to go. I'm not good at that taking initiative leadership thing. Because it's not in your nature to. It's not in your nature to want to take initiative, but you take initiative, and here's the reason you take initiative, and you don't even know it's all because of your own doing. You ostracize the man. I don't need no man. And so your natural masculine side of you, the natural masculine side of you takes over. And then you have to become the man. And then you always shout and yell, ain't no good men out here. And then you always shout and yell, men are dogs. And then you always, because you're watching men be dogs, but a man may have never dogged you. A man may have never dogged you out. You're just watching men be dogs. And so what you do is you ostracize the man. You don't want no man. I can live independent of a man. And therefore, every time a good man comes your way, you cannot see him. You cannot see that good man because you saw all men through this one lens. You saw all men through this one lens. And you've been watching and observing men be dogs, be hoes, be promiscuous. And so through your lens, through the rose-colored glasses you're looking through, all men look this way to you. And so the continuation of ostracizing that man further and further away from you puts you deeper and deeper and deeper into an emotional, into an instability emotional state, an unstable state. And so you come with more testosterone because now that masculine energy has to be released. The further and further you ostracize the man. So now more and more of that masculine energy has to be released. It's by nature that it has to be released. This is the laws of physics. It is by nature. And so what do you see women do when they got children and they all by themselves? They look just like animals in nature. They become protective of their little cubs and they don't want no predator, no prey. They don't want nobody preying on their kids or them. So they become protective. That's that masculine. You don't want to be protective. You want your man to protect you. You don't want to be the one watching out for the predator in the bush. You want your man to be doing that. And you know this, you desire this, but the fact of the matter is you live this, I'm an independent woman. I live independent. I don't need no man. I'm going to go and live my life good. I don't need no man to tell me what to do, how to feel. But when a man desires a woman, that woman has the provision to see within this man, oh, this man is going to take me far. This man is going somewhere. Why do you think women say, I don't want no man who ain't got no goals? A woman say all the time, he ain't got to have money, but he got to have drive. Because women want to be driven. Women want to be driven. Women want to be sitting in the passenger seat, driven by her man, going somewhere. But you ostracize the man. I don't need no man. And then the masculine side of you come out more and more and more and more. And then you become emotionally imbalanced. You become emotionally imbalanced because you're trying to play two roles. And it's hard to do that. You're not being your most natural self. Your most natural self is to be a divine feminine woman. It is to be a virtuous woman. Your divine feminine energy wants to be a nurturing woman, a loving woman. Your divine feminine energy wants to be a homemaker. Your divine feminine energy wants to be there for your babies and your children and have them in your proximity every single day. Your divine feminine energy desires that your man, the security of knowing that your man is around. Your man is there. Your man is here with you. Your divine feminine energy desires that your man be the king that he's supposed to be. When you look at a chessboard, what's the most powerful piece on the chessboard? What is the most powerful piece on the chessboard? It is the queen. And why is the queen the most powerful piece on the chessboard? Because the king, because she's the one doing all of the movement. She's the one doing all of the moving parts. She's the one controlling everything. She's the one that when the man is just doing his kingly things. See, the role for the man is to be left up to just be a king. Just let me be the king. And I'm going to provide stability. And so what happens is the woman, she has a team or a tribe or a community that she works with, a sisterhood. She has a community that she is engaged with. And this is her being a queen to the establishment that her king builds and lays the foundation of. And so through her, all things are done. Through her, all things are together. Through her, do all things make sense to be in the place that they're in. Because all the man is to do is just provide the stability. Men provide the stability, and men buy the home, women decorate that thing. You feel what I'm saying? Men buy the home, the women decorate it. That's the exact image that I can give you of the queen on the chessboard. She's the designer. She's the moving parts. She's the one keeping all the other parts moving on the board. She's the one got a community beneath her, telling her working with her community, vibing with her tribe, and they are growing in a sisterhood, a family, a village, whatever you want to call it. They're growing as one because she has been provided the stability by her king. And her king can just sit back and do kingly stuff while she sits back and decorate and put the upholstery up. So a woman cannot survive emotionally independent of her man because it's not in her nature and it's not by the laws of physics. It's just impossible. And I know we like to say, oh, women been surviving on this planet for eons before men arrive. And I think that we get these ideas of matriarchy and patriarchy societies a little bit twisted because what we miss here is, even if it was a matriarchal society, and let's say it was a matriarchal society, why was men created? And I'm just really going here for those of you who will say this. Oh, women been here longer than men. So then the man was created. And we all know, if you look at the anatomy of a man, he has all parts of a woman. He has all parts of the woman. And so, men, like Tupac say, we all came from a woman, made from a woman. And because we all come from a woman, made from a woman, the question then is, why were we made? And nature has it. This is why you see in nature the two males fighting over the right to mate. Because it's in the woman's desire to create a lineage after her own likeness. It is in her desire to breed forth a lineage that is imprinted upon this planet. It is in her desire to create and manifest and birth forth a lineage of strong roots. And I'm not just speaking on a biological level when I say this. This is on a physical level as well. Women want to plant roots. The man is the foundation in which she lay roots with. The man is the foundation. So you cannot survive emotionally without man. Because it is in your nature to lay roots with a man. It is in your nature to lay roots with that man. And that man will, and here's the thing, you need to understand. That man, when he procreates inside of that woman, when he procreates with that woman, you understand? That man is assuring that woman that she will always be protected. This is what the queen does on the chessboard. That man is assuring that woman that she will always be protected. Now, when you say protected, what do you mean? When you say protected, do you mean like from war and battles and fights and stuff like that protected? No. But your desire to create, your desire to procreate a lineage after your own likeness, that's protection. Protection is having security. Protection is security. Protection is security. Secure in knowing that this seed that's going to come forth from me is a seed that will continue on a part of me, a piece of me, who I am, my lineage. These will be the heir to my legacy. And so men are promiscuous, not because we just want to be promiscuous, but because the narrative out here for women is that they can be independent of their man and they don't need a man. And this is the thing they shout and scream all day long. And so you go out here and you stick your nose up in the air, acting as if your desire isn't to have a man. When we all know that's your desire. You have a desire to be with a man. Your desire is to be with a man. And you're not going to heal the feminine part of you because you're imbalanced. See, women are going to always be deconstructed in their thinking because the imbalance of trying to play masculine and feminine at the same time. There's a time when you turn on the masculine, there's a time when you turn on the feminine, but when you are not being in your divine feminine self as you should be always 24/7, then you are being imbalanced because you're trying to compensate for what's not there. And so you go take gun lessons, you go to the gun range to practice how to shoot. That's not something you're supposed to be doing. And you know this. Here's the thing. You know you're not supposed to be practicing how to shoot to protect because you know that's the role of your man. You know that your job is to not go to the gun range and get a concealed weapons permit so you can learn how to protect you. You know that's not your desired role or your desired role. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go take up defense classes. But you are compensating for what you are lacking. And you're lacking because you have turned off men and you're seeing them through this one way. Because you're observing men, watching men, and seeing all men do your friends dirty, do people dirty. They sleep around. It's all over the news, all over media. Men are dogs. Men sleep everywhere. Men this, men that. Men can't be trusted. And so you put years of good fertile time for a seed to be planted in you. You put years off of doing what you naturally desire and are designed to do. And that is to procreate a lineage. This is what the queen on the chessboard is. What you see on the chessboard, the other chess pieces, is the queen's legacy. That's her legacy. The bishops and the knights and the pawns, that's her legacy on the board. And they got a job to do. So your offspring is your legacy and they got a job to do. Protect the kingdom. Their job is to protect the kingdom. And the woman is supposed to be the last line of defense that a threat should make it to. That's why she's the most important piece on the chessboard. Because when it all comes down to war, when it all comes down to battle, her king is supposed to step in front of her when every piece is off the chessboard and there's only the king and her left. It is the king's job to sacrifice himself. Why? Because it is through her the legacy continues. So the role of the chess pieces on the chessboard is to protect the queen. This is what bees do in the beehive. This is what ants do in the ant colony. They protect the queen. They understand that. She understands that this is her legacy. You understand? So your role as a woman naturally is to not fight, take up defense classes, take up concealed weapons permit shooting classes. That's not your role. And you don't desire that. The truth is, you do not desire to want to do that. Because you know somewhere out there in the world, there's a man that's supposed to protect you. That's what you want. But you act like you don't want it. And so you shut off the man from being able to make a partition towards you, to make to make his move towards you. You shut off the man from petitioning you. Like Beyonce say, the partition, you understand? You cut off through the partition the male petition. So a male cannot petition you because you create the partition. And so your man has seen you cut him off. And what is men going to do? Men going to go out here and be loose and be wild and be promiscuous and not do what they were naturally designed to do, because it is the queen, it is the woman, it is the queen who is the one in control of all the moving pieces. And until the queen understands that I need my king, the king will not show up. And every time you see men out here in the world, what you're going to do is judge, convict, ridicule. You're going to belittle. You're going to ostracize that man from ever making his move on you. Because anytime a man, like I said, I use the example of the club. You in the club and the man comes up to want to dance with you. You turn around and you give him that weird scowl look on your face. And you're like, not you. But this man could be the one. But you'll never know because you see all men the same. You're seeing all men through these lenses. And so a man cannot petition you because you have the partition up. And you're going to always be laden with the struggle. You're always going to be laden with the search in the burning desire in your heart. You're going to always be laden with the burning desire in your heart to have a man. But it's not, quote unquote, a man. Like I said, it's not a man you're looking for. It's a guide. You want to be guided. Women want to be guided. And you're looking for a guy. Yeah, it's in the form of a masculine. Yes, it's in the form of a man. It's in the form of a man. But you've gotten so dumbed down with the literary. You gotten so dumbed down with the literature. I don't need no man. And so, but it's not a man you're looking for. It's a guide you're looking for. You're looking for someone to get up every single day and lead you, guide you. Not by telling you what to do, but by his vision and his drive. Do you already fall into your natural place? Your natural place is follow the man. Because he's the one with the drive. He's the one with the vision. That's your natural place. But you've cutting off your man. So now you overcompensate for what you lack. You're compensating for what you lack. And that is the masculine energy in your life that's supposed to be in full flex. Not half and half. You're not supposed to be. Phone call, hold on. So, again, let's get back to why you cannot survive emotionally independent of him. Because you have taken his role on. You think you can survive, but you can't. So emotionally, you're breaking down because of the imbalance. Emotionally, you're breaking down because of that imbalance. There's not supposed to be an imbalance within you naturally. So when nature shows us that the woman desires a man. She desires a king. She desires a leader. She desires to be guided. She desires to be protected. She desires for her king to be there and present. She desires this. Your natural desire is to let your man guide you, lead you, show you the way through his vision, not by telling you what to do, but through his vision can you see. Through his vision can you see. Because what it does is on a natural, on a spiritual level, on a conscious level, on a divine level, what it does is it opens up that intuitive thinking, that intuitive capacity within you, woman, that allows you to see deeper into his vision. And so what ends up happening is all the man has to do is have a vision, and the woman can see deeper into that. And so she already knows how to lay the land. She already knows how to decorate the home. She already knows the perfect items to put up in his home so that this house can become a home. The man says, I want to buy us a, the man says, excuse me. The man says, I want to buy us a home. And once the man say that, the woman creatively start going into her deeper mind, her visioning. She creatively start going deeper into her visions and seeing how this house is going to look, how it's going to be laid out, what's going to go in it. Men, we don't think that far. We be like, yo, I want to buy us a nice home, 4, 5 bedrooms, maybe 6, on a lot of land. And, that's it. I just want a big old house on a lot of land. We simple. We just want a big old house on a lot of land. Right? And you be like, I do too. And the man's job is to make that happen while you sit back and create the vision for how it's going to look. What it's going to look like. You're the queen on the chessboard. In the beehive, in the ant colony. In the hyena pack. You understand? Your role is to be protected because it is through you. It's only through the woman. So here's what I'm saying to you. Stop. I'm talking to women who are single, women who found themselves in multiple relationships. Stop looking at men the same way. Stop looking at all men the one way. Stop looking at all men one way. If you want your king to show up, you got to be already in your natural divine feminine state. Just because he's not there doesn't mean you have to overcompensate and create the imbalance, because then he's going to recognize that. Men, we pick up on that. Men is going to pick up on that imbalance within you, knowing that you're compensating for both feminine and masculine. Men are going to pick that up and they're going to be, what they say, intimidated by you. Why? Because you are playing the male role as well. With your guard up. You're playing the protector. You're playing the fighter. You're playing the warrior. You're playing the soldier. You're playing the one with your gun out. You're playing the one with your sword out, ready to take off any heads that come to break your heart. And the way you find your king, the king is going to pick up. The king is going to pick up on your divine feminine when you just be your divine feminine. Am I saying give every single man that approach you a chance? No, because that's not how it works. What I'm saying is when you are being your divine feminine self, you don't have to guess, you don't have to worry, you don't have to know who it is that's coming to you. Now, he may not look all like what you wanted him to look like. He may not be the height of all that you wanted him to be the height of, but this man will be exactly what he needs to be for you. And that's where you get all messed up, because you got a preference, and that's fine, right? You got a preference. That's the programming of the world. Your preference. You have a preference. And your preference is stopping you from getting connected to your soul mate. Your preference is stopping you because your man has to fit a certain category for you for him to show up. And he's not going to, and you're going to continuously be hurt, brokenhearted, left alone, and destitute because you keep looking for your man in this figure that you have. I'm not saying you cannot manifest the desires of your heart, but what I'm saying is you even know when the right one shows up, and you even know when you messing with someone who ain't right. You know when you like, man, you're not right, bro. Like, for real. What am I doing with you? You're not right. You know when you messing with someone who ain't right. And you also know when you messing with someone who is right. But here's the thing. You don't want Mr. Right. You know why? Because Mr. Right seemed like a square. Mr. Right seemed boring. Mr. Right seemed like he ain't fun enough. But Mr. Right got all his ducks in a row. Mr. Right got everything he need to align to prepare a place for you. And you overlook the square. Why you think in fairy tales and TV shows and sitcoms and movies, you see the pretty little girl with who? The geek. She with the geek. Ever see those movies where the pretty girl is with the geek? Why you think that is? Because the narrative is that these type of men, although they're geeks, they know a lot, they got the wisdom, and they know how to provide. He got drive. See that geek that you see that pretty girl with? She don't see a geek. She see his drive, his determination, his passion. That's what she see. And she knows being with this man is going to do what? It's going to create her legacy and protect her lineage. She like, yo, this is the right man to be with because having babies by this man is only he's going to be there. He's going to raise my children. He's going to protect us. He's going to provide for us. He's going to keep away for us. You're not supposed to be working. Your man's supposed to be working. Your man's supposed to be the one with the ideas. And you're supposed to take those ideas from your man and you're supposed to creatively make something. You're supposed to become a craftsman. You're supposed to take those ideas. If man chop a tree down, you're supposed to know how to make clay pots and clay bowls out of that. So you can feed that man. Or wood bowls and wood dishes. And if man goes and find the land, you're supposed to know how to get back to making clay pots and pottery from that. Why? Because in your nature, and I know you say, oh, we don't live in those times no more where we eat out of clay pots and go back. We don't do that kind of life no more over here. But that's you missing what I'm saying when I say this. What I'm saying is your divine nature wants to be a homemaker. Your divine nature wants to be protected. Your divine nature wants to be guided. Your divine nature wants to see inside your man's vision so that you know every single day you are protected because you are guided and you are guarded by his vision, by his way, by his protection, by his understanding and his wisdom and his collective thoughts. But you gotten strapped and wrapped up in the independent woman movement. Lil Webby said IDEMPNTD, however you spell it. IDEMPNT. Do you know what that means? Got her own house. She got her own car. She got her own shoe. See, you got caught up in that. And now you say, I don't need no man. I got all my own stuff. I got this, I got that, I got the third, I got the fourth. But you'll never be able to heal your feminine self. You'll always create the imbalance. And then you'll find yourself 40 years old trying to have a child. You'll find yourself 45 years old trying to get this man to lay roots with you now. Because you wanted to make sure you went to school, you got your degree, you got your job, you got your house, you got your pension set up, you got your car, you straight. Ain't no man gonna want that. That's just the real. The reality of it is, ain't no man gonna want that. A man don't want, when a man say, what are you bringing to the table? He ain't talking financially. Not no real man. When a man say, what are you bringing to the table? He's not talking about financially. Do you got assets? No, the man, when he say, what are you bringing to the table? It's not assets that you bring. It's gifts that you bring. What are the gifts that you bring? And you got natural gifts. Your gifts to soothe your man with your touch. You can heal your man simply with a touch. Your gift to create and feed your man. When you feed your man food, you're not feeding him food. You're feeding him your soul. You're feeding him your essence. These are the gifts that you come with. When you lay down and spread your legs for that man, and open your legs up for that man, you are spiritually connecting to his mind. And so you are becoming one with that man's mind. It's not just sex. It's becoming one with his mind because you are intuitively coming into that man. It's not him. Look, I'm about to get graphic when I say this. It's not him coming into you. It's you coming into him. It's you coming into him. It's you, C-O-M-I-N-G. It's not him, C-U-M-I-N-G. It's not him ejaculating into you. It's you coming into him. And you're becoming him. You're becoming his mind. You're becoming his thoughts. You're becoming who this man is. Because that's what you desire. So when a man say, what are you bringing to the table? He's not talking about assets. He's talking about gifts. A man don't want to know, can you clean? But do a man want a woman who cleans? A man doesn't want a woman who can clean. A man want a woman who is clean. A man doesn't want a woman who can clean. He wants a woman who is clean, because if a woman is clean, all is clean around her. What do they say? Cleanliness is next to godliness. If a woman is clean, then all around her be clean. So I don't want no woman who can clean. I want a woman who is clean. Because cleanliness is next to godliness. And I know if she's a cleanly woman, then all things around her be clean. I know if this woman is a cleanly woman, her mind is pure. Her thoughts is clean toward me. I want a woman who is clean, because her thoughts are clean toward me. When she touched me, her hands are clean. Her energy is clean. When she touches me, she heals me. What gifts? A man don't want to know what assets you bring. He want to know what gifts you bring to the table. Because we got the hard part. We don't need you to do the hard part. We need you to do the soft part. We need you to be divine feminine. We need you to be 100% divine feminine, because within us is a feminine part of us as well. And when you are being your divine feminine self, when you touch me, when you touch a man, you're not speaking to his masculine. You're speaking to yourself. You know how you want to be touched. You know how you want to be loved. You know how you want to be healed. And when you touch that man, when you feed that man, you're feeding him your essence. You're feeding him your soul. You're feeding him your ideas. You're feeding him your mind. When you are having sex with that man, you're coming into that man. And so you are healing this man to do right by you. You are healing this man to be right and to do right by you, because in your lineage, like I said, he's not coming into you. You're coming into him. In your lineage, can you reproduce the type of man from your offspring? Can you reproduce within yourself, within your offspring, the type of man you speak into? So we talk about breaking generational curses. This is the one. When you are carrying the seed of that man, when you're carrying the seed of that man, beloved, You are speaking into that man, into your lineage. You are speaking into your lineage. And therefore, you, through your touch, you through your food, you through your cleanliness, you through your energy towards your man, when you are acting in the full 100% capacity of the divine feminine, you're not speaking to the masculine man. You're not speaking to the masculine in that man. You're speaking to yourself. So therefore you teach him through the way you touch. You teach him through the way you feed. You teach him through the way you speak to him how to love you, how to heal you, how to speak to you. You heal him, healing yourself. You heal him to heal you. You heal him to heal you. So you speak into this man. And that power comes through that man. And in his DNA programming, in his gene pool, do he create the manifested love language that he needs to be able to impute that information into his seed, put that seed into your womb, and you create a lineage of men, of children, of women who know how to love men, and who know how to heal men, and who know how to heal you by healing men through their touch and their love and their words. They're healing themselves, and then the children become healed. So you cannot survive emotionally independent of your man. And I know you want to think that you can, but you cannot. It's not natural. It's not the desires of your own heart. You and I both know this. This is not the desires of your feminine energy. The desires of your feminine energy is to have love, be love, feel love, see love every day you wake up. Not by a man being in your bed, but by knowing that this man that is in your bed has the way for you. It is by knowing that this man that is in your bed has the provision for you. You want to wake up in love knowing that. You don't want to wake up in worrying about what you got to do today to provide, protect. That's an imbalance. So you create the imbalance because you're compensating for the masculine that's not there. And so that becomes a form of a partition. So a man will not petition you. It becomes a wall that you put up. So a man will not petition for you because he see the masculine displaying itself. He see the walls that you put up because of the masculine that you have to compensate for. So automatically he's going to pick up on that energy. Why? Because when you become imbalanced by picking up and being the masculine energy, guess what? He being masculine sees the masculine. Just like I said, when you touch that man, when you speak to that man, when you feed that man, you're speaking to the feminine in him, not the masculine. And when you put up a wall, you're speaking to the masculine in him. So he sees masculine energy. This is why the queen is the most important piece. So when you start to know that I can't, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do this without my man. And I'm not going to ostracize man anymore. I'm not going to be like, no, I have a preference. It's more so knowing that my heart is open to receive. And if my heart is open to receive, then I know exactly what it looks like. I know exactly what the man looks like. And it's not by some preference. I know exactly what he looks like. It's not through the preference of one's own desires, but it is through your desire to be guided. So when you find your man, you found your provision. When you find your man, you found your path. When you find your man, you found your way. When you find your man, you found your security. When you find your man, you found your stability. Men make stuff happen and you don't even know how it happens because it's not your role to know that. Your role is to just go to bed at peace at night. Your role is to get up and be like, I can go in here and feed my man because everything's good. Like, he just take care of everything. I'm good. And that's not even to be a worry or a thought on your mind. Baby, what need to be done today? Baby, what bills we need to pay today? That ain't your job to know what bills need to be paid or how he's paying the bills. Your job is to know, oh, this man, he's a boss because he's a king because that's what kings do. Kings sit back and do the work that you don't see. The queen on the chessboard is the one that has all the parts moving. It is the queen who has all the parts moving. And the king, you cannot see his parts moving because he's doing what he's supposed to do. Kingly stuff. By it not showing, you're not supposed to see the stresses. You're not supposed to see the work of the king. You're supposed to know thy way is protected and guided. You're not supposed to see the work of thy king. So on a chessboard, the work of the king is not seen. The work of the king is not known. It's like, what do the king do? The king sacrifices himself for the queen, but the work of the king is unseen. He has a major role on the chessboard. But it is the queen who has all the parts moving. And that comes from knowing that she has stability because of the king. So to try to go out here in this world and survive independent of your man on an emotional level is never going to happen. Because you, beloved, are an emotional being who desires to be emotional. You'll never be what you desire to be if you think that you can go out here and do it independent. You'll never be the divine feminine because you're supposed to be 100%. Although the masculine is there, as with the man, the feminine is there. But that's not supposed to be a switch you turn on. If there's a balance and stability within the framework. But if there's no stability or balance within the framework from the male being present there, then you have to turn on the switch of the masculine. And that's not your desire. That's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to be. That's not what you came here to do. You didn't come here to do that. You're like, yo, what the hell is going on? So everywhere on social media you post and you say and you share and you like and you comment, men ain't shit. Men ain't this. Men ain't that. And you agree with the platforms that agree with men not being nothing. And that's why you don't get a nothing. That's why you get a nothing man. You don't get a something man. You get a nothing man. A man who has nothing to give and offer and provide you. You don't get a something man. A man with something. A man with substance. A man with vision. A man with leadership. A man with pride. A man with purpose. A man with desire. You don't get that kind of man that shows up. And I can speak of myself when I say this. I'm a rare breed. I'm a very rare breed. My type of man is a rare breed. The type of man who make things happen and you don't know how it's happening. You can't see where it's happening from. You don't know what's making it happen. And you want to know, but that's not your job. But you gotten programmed from the system that teaches you, oh, it's women turn now. It's the woman turn now. Let's give women their due. Let's give women the platform now. It's their turn. It's not about, see, you wouldn't believe that nonsense if you knew it's not about taking turns with your man or with the man. You hate to hear the word submit. You hate to hear the word to be submissive to your man, but that is the way. Being submissive to your man is a strength, not a weakness. It is to say, I trust my man. To submit is to say, I trust you, king. Do your thing. I'm going to sit back over here in the cut. I'm going to lay low. I'm going to let you do your thing. I trust you. You just let me know where where and when you need me. Where and when you need me, king, I'm here. Women make the chess pieces on the chessboard move. As men go out and lay the foundation, the groundwork, and lay the stability down for the woman so she can be her divine feminine self. And you're not going to be your divine feminine self absentee of your man. It's not going to work like that. It's not the laws of nature or the laws of physics. That's why you find yourself with so much rage nowadays. You got a lot of rage. There's a lot of rage going on within you. Because you don't know how to subdue. You don't know how to subdue that energy that raises up within you. And so when it rises, you let it burst. You let it out. That's not your divine self. That's not your divine feminine self. Your divine feminine self wants to love and nurture and nourish and feed and touch to heal your man. So that through that very thing, you touching and feeding, through that very thing, that those very gifts, are you reprogramming and changing his program, his DNA? So when he lays the seed, he lays a seed of men that you have implanted within him through your touch, through your words, through your feeding of him. So it's not him you're healing. It's you and the offspring that you're healing. But he gets the healing as well. But he's not the divine, he's not the main purpose of the healing. You heal him to heal you. You heal him to teach you how to touch you. Through your touch, you teach him how to touch you. Through your love, you teach him how to love you. It can only come this way. That's why you can't survive emotionally of your man, because emotionally that's what you want. You want to be taught how to be, you want to be loved. You want to be touched. You want to feel the love and the touch that you want to feel from the man, the love and the touch that you have within yourself. And the only way to feel that is by you giving it to him. Once you give it to him, he procreates that with you. And there becomes a manifestation of that love that comes from the queen, who moves all those parts on the board. So get yourselves and get your minds right, women. Stop listening to what's going on out here in the world. These social media sites and clips that you see trying to show you how independent of a man you can be, when that's not the truth. You cannot be independent of a man. You will never be independent. You cannot be independent of a man emotionally, because it's not the way you was designed. So stop believing these sites. Stop reading and following the news. Stop looking at the media when they tell you, oh, it's women's turn, it's woman's turn, it's nobody's turn. It's not man's turn, it's not women's turn. It's each other's turn. It's through each other do we do these things. It's through each other do we uplift. It's through each other. It is not one's turn and the other's turn. It is not one's turn and then it's the other's turn, and then another century later it's the other's turn. That's not harmony. That's not balance. That's not harmonious. That's not alignment. That's misalignment. And you being lied to think that you can be that without your man. The only way you create harmony, the only way you create alignment, is when you get in alignment with your other half, with your other self, with the other part of who you are naturally. That's the only way to get in alignment. You cannot get in alignment. I'm sorry. I know you say, oh, I was born gay and this and the third. I'm a lesbian and I like women. I know you want to, I got a show coming up on that. I'm not going to dive into that deep yet. I'll do that. I got a show coming up on sexuality. And I'll break that down for you to show you how you being lied to, because they usurped the information from you and made you believe, they usurped your natural divine feminine and made you believe that the way to heal, the way to love is through self. Yeah, it's through self that we get in touch, but it is not through self without your other half. And what I mean by that is you're not going to be able to go throughout this world without your other half. It's physically, spiritually, and emotionally impossible. Mother Teresa did it, but Mother Teresa, we ain't even going. I mean, Mother Teresa was like the Virgin Mary, right? But we cannot say Mother Teresa did not have those desires. What we can say is Mother Teresa suppressed those desires. We can't say, oh, Mother Teresa did it because she didn't have those desires. No, Mother Teresa had those desires. Mother Teresa had those desires. She just did what's not natural. She suppressed those desires. Because she had purpose. Her life had purpose. She gave her life away to the purpose. But it's not natural for you to suppress those desires. That's just not natural. That's not nature. That's not who you are. Get yourself on track with God. With God, GHAD, the great harmonious alignment of the divine. You are not going to be your divine feminine self. Aligning in a harmonious vibrational way with yourself, meaning your man, with yourself, in your man. You're not going to be able to align with him if you think that you can be emotionally independent of him. So he's not going to come in alignment with you, and you will never be God. I know you say you're God, and you are God. You're a piece of God. But until you get your other half, you are your higher self. And you don't need physically a man to become your higher self. You need the soul of man. You need the seed. You need the seed of man. And what is the seed of man? The seed of man is the soul of man. What is the soul of man? Is it his semen? Absolutely not. It is his divine guidance and enlightenment. It is his divine guidance. It is his divine leadership. That's the seed of man. Man planting seed in your mind. Man planting seed in your thought. That is the seed in the soul of man. You need guidance by your man because your man has the seed to life. He has the soul. Your man has the seed to life, which is the provisionist way. It is to provide, but give you provision. Through the seed of man, it is not through semen, but it is through thought. Man gives you his thought as a seed. So you don't need a physical man to become God. You need man to spark, to be the spark in your bonfire. You need man to be the spark, and then you become the bonfire of that spark. You need the seed of man's thought, of man's way, of man's leadership, of man's guidance, so that you can see all that you are, all that you're supposed to be, and all that you desire to be through the expansion of his mind, which is called the seed or the soul of man. I rest my case. I rest my case today. And I got more videos, powerful videos coming up live on Facebook for you, because we got to return back to the natural way. And I know people like to think that returning back to the natural way is going through, go live off grid. It's not through living off grid do we return back to the natural way. It is when we return to the natural form of thought. When we return to the natural form of thought, when woman returns to the natural form of thought as her divine feminine self, and man returns to the natural masculine thought. When man returns back to his natural divine thought of his masculine way, his masculine ways, that's how you return to nature. It's not through ostracizing one or the other. We don't need to go off grid, live in the woods to return to nature. Now, I will say this, and I mean it when I say it, that man and woman both must get back to a true natural form of an environment, though. You do have to leave an assimilated, or what we call the matrix. You do got to get out of that. You got to get out of that. And you got to get back to the natural way. And I know you think that takes living off grid. You can do that here. But you create the environment for yourself. You create an oasis for yourself. You create a paradise for yourself. You create a garden for yourself. You can do that here. But you have to do it creating that kind of a space. an eco space that feeds back into your essence and your being, your biology. That feeds back into your biology. It's not going to happen no other way. I love you. I love me. I love us. Donate to the mission. Soul, GoFundMe, Soul Missions. GoFundMe/soulmissions.com. GoFundMe/soul, SOHL, missions.com. And contribute, give $1, give 10, give 100 to the natural way that we are returning to. We are returning to the natural way. And trust me, I'll make sure that we do quicker than you find yourself giving to me. Because I already know I'm going to make it happen because I'm a man. I'm going to make it happen. Those who don't see me now, they'll see me later. But I'm not going to see you because I know that you're going to come from the imbalanced state of the divine feminine, and that's not the way. That's not how you're going to get. That's not how I'm going to see you. I'm only going to be able to see you when you're tapped into your natural divine feminine because I am all divine masculine. When I need to, I tap into my divine feminine, but 99% of the time, I don't need to. I'm all masculine. There's only one time I tap into my divine feminine, and that's when I'm around my children. But other than that, I'm always in leadership, guiding role. I'm always in warrior mode. I'm always in spiritual leadership role. I'm always in that mindset. But the woman can pull that out of the man when she bring her gifts. What do you bring to the table? Bring me gifts. Don't bring me assets. I don't want assets. I don't want money. I don't want homes. No. Bring me your mind. Bring me your power. Bring me your essence. Bring me your energy. Bring me your cleanliness. Bring me your thoughts. Bring me your desires. Bring me your heartfelt passions. Bring me your dreams. And let me cultivate them with you. Creating stability for you. All right? I love you. I love me. I love us. Be well, be loved, and be light, beloved. Don't forget to donate to GoFundMe/soul missions. And always remember, live from the soul. I'll see y'all again next time. Peace.